Hey y'all, welcome back to Black Desiderium. Today we'll be discussing Sister Sister Season 4, Episode 7, Boy from the Hood. The episode starts with Tia bragging on her old friend named Darnell and telling Tamera about all the good times they had. We learned that Lisa and Patrice, Darnell's mom, was best friends back in the day, so Tia and Darnell grew up as play cousins. Patrice and Darnell were visiting Detroit from Atlanta, and Lisa invited them to stay at Ray's house over the weekend. As Tia was going on and on about Darnell and bragging on him, we could see that Tamera was in the back just getting annoyed and tired of hearing about Darnell. And Tia asked her, was she gonna kick it with them this weekend? Tamera was like, absolutely not. I'm tired of hearing about him. Y'all can just go ahead and do y'all thing. I'm gonna do my thing, and we could just do it like that this weekend. But the moment Tia opened up that door and Tamera laid eyes on Darnell, she was sold. She was sprung, and it was love at first sight. Darnell is played by Jason Weaver, aka Baby Michael Jackson, aka Marcus Henderson from Smart Guy, aka Teddy from ATL. Tia introduces Tamera and Darnell, and Ray is just standing there like, I know this ain't little Darnell Lisa and Tia was going on about, because this is a full-grown boy right here. Lisa runs down the stairs and hugs Darnell, and then she hugs Patrice when she walks through the door. Roger comes in, being nosy as always, and he like, I just saw a thug walking here with a suitcase. What's going on? And he sees Darnell, and he gets a little jealous, like, oh, well, why I never been able to stay over here? Go home, Roger. The next morning, Tia and Darnell are downstairs eating breakfast, and Tia is just so excited. She's bringing up all the old times and all the old things that they used to do when they were kids. And she asked Darnell, like, are you interested in doing any of these things that we used to do? And Darnell was like, no, I've grown up. Let me tell you about what I've been doing in Atlanta. And he started telling her how he is a player, how he's been running through all these girls, and he's just completely changed. Tia is shocked, and she just like, wow. After Darnell goes down his full roster, he has the nerve to turn around and ask Tia, what's up with Tamera? Of course, Tia's like, oh no, baby, you're not gonna mess with my sister after you done just told me that you was a dog? No. Tamera comes downstairs, and you could just tell she is so smitten by Darnell. She's laughing, she's giggling, she got her hand out, and she just can't get enough of him. And Darnell asked her, is she rolling with them today? And she said yes. She riding shotgun. Tia is obviously uncomfortable with the idea of Tamera and Darnell getting close, and Tia had to pull her to the side and was like, you sure you want to hang with us? And just trying to convince her not to come with them today. But Tamera wasn't having that. She was like, I'm going with y'all. Ray overheard them talking, and he tried to convince Tamera to stay home or do something with him this weekend, but she wasn't hearing him either. She said she going with Darnell this weekend. Later on that day, Lisa and Patrice, they creep back in the house after a full night of clubbing. Ray pulls Lisa to the side and let him know that he's not comfortable with the girls being out with Darnell, and he's worried. Lisa reassures him that everything is fine and they're in good hands with Darnell. She trusts him, she know him, she practically raised him. But Ray, he wasn't convinced. Patrice and Lisa finished reminiscing on their bad girl days. They smoking cigarettes. They doing all the stuff that they used to do, or trying to do it. And Patrice tells Lisa that she feels like Ray is a snob and he looks down on her. She can't be herself around him, and she just doesn't like that for Lisa. Lisa defends Ray and tells Patrice that no, he's not like that, but Patrice is convinced. She like, he's looking down on me, you, and my son because of where we're from. Ray walks in, interrupting their conversation and saying that Darnell needs to bring the girls back ASAP. And Patrice then put a battery in Lisa back because she is going off on Ray, and she's saying, why you looking at him like that? Why you judging us? You're judgmental. She's just doing a lot. And Ray is like, listen, I don't care. I want my daughters back, and it is what it is. If I'm judgmental, if I just don't have a good feeling about this boy. Nosy Roger walks in, and he tells Ray that he is concerned for the girls' safety and that they need to come back here ASAP. Roger and Ray, they stand right there. They have a little discussion. Then Tia, Darnell, and Tamera bust in the door. Tamera and Darnell are comfy cozy. They got their arms wrapped around each other, and they just laughing. Tia is like, they left me, they ditched me multiple times, and she didn't have a good time at all. She was by herself. She was third wheeling pretty much. Tamera tells Ray and Roger that Darnell took them around all the hood spots, all his old hangout spots, And she was really, excited, impressed, or whatever. And Tamera tells Ray that Darnell will be taking her and Tia to meet a couple of his friends later on at a party. And Tia was like, no, I'm not going. Tamera said, well, you might not be going, but I will be going. And Ray said, oh, no, you're not going at all. And Ray starts giving her a lecture, and he said, why do I feel like what I'm saying is going in one ear and out the other? And it was. Tia pulls Tamera to the side and attempt to have a heart-to-heart with her, letting her know that Darnell is not who she thinks he is, and that he's changed so much from the stories that she's heard about him. But Tamera, she's not trying to hear it, and she still decides that she's going to go to the party. Tamera, hard-headed self, still decided to go to Darnell's friend's kickback. And, of course, Tia ran after her trying to save her sister and tell her, do not go there. But she wasn't listening to her. Darnell knocked on the door, and when they opened the door, it was a cloud of smoke that greeted them. Baby Darnell took Tamera to the trap. And, music bumping, people bumping and grinding, and it was a lot of intense kissing going on in the corners. And Tia and Tamera's mouths dropped. Of course, Tia told Tamera, we got to get out of here. But Tia, she was at the punch bowl. She was like, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm here to have a good time. Darnell asked her to dance, and they started dancing. Tia jumps in the middle of them. She dancing. She trying to make sure that they don't get too close and too comfortable. But Darnell ends up pulling Tamera to the side and tell her, hey, I got a key to the empty apartment next door if you want to go. And Tamera's like, well, why we got to go to the next empty apartment? I'm fine right here. We having fun. He like, well, we can have a little bit more fun, if you know what I'm saying. And Tamera was, you could tell she was uncomfortable. She was like, well, we're going to play Twister. He was like, strip Twister? That girl was over it. Darnell tries to use manipulation tactic 101. I thought you liked me. And Tamera, of course, she's like, I do like you. He like, well, prove it. Come on to the apartment. And he start pulling her and being very aggressive. That's when Tia gets involved and she start tugging Tamera back. And she says, you a dog. Leave my sister alone. She tells him off. See Roger coming to the rescue. He followed them to the party, and now he has snuck his way into the party. He dancing, but that's short-lived because the people at the front door, they kick him out of the party. Elle tells Tia that she needs to step back and that her sister is a big girl. She can make her own decisions. And Tia is like, no, my sister's not going nowhere with you. Tamera interrupts both of them and says she can make her own decisions. He's right. So for a split second, we think that she's really about to consider going with him. But Tamera steps up and tells him off, tells him how he's a dog, how she don't want nothing to do with him, and he need to step. Darnell is just over it. He like, you know what, whatever, I'm done. And he leave them. He was their ride to get home. Tia and Tamera then locks themselves in the bathroom at the party. They were scared, they didn't know anyone, and they just felt like they were stuck. We see Roger walking down the hallway with Lisa and Ray, and he's pretty much telling them that I was in this party, I saw everything that happened, Darnell had them in a messed up situation, this party is crazy. Lisa is still defending Darnell walking down the hallway until they finally walked into that party. They go in and they see exactly what we saw, a cloud of smoke, dancing, kissing. Lisa sees a girl that she thinks is Tia, and she snatched that girl up and tell her, get off of that boy, get away from my daughter. And the girl's like, girl, I'm not your daughter. She like, oh, well, you still don't need to be doing that. As they were looking around in the party, Lisa got a little distracted and started dancing, hitting a bankhead bounce. Ray was telling her to focus. That's when Lisa was like, see, you do judge me because I'm from here, I'm from the hood or whatever. And Ray was pretty much like, no, I don't judge you because you're from the hood. I judge you off of your character. You just crazy regardless. And they make up in a crazy, weird kind of way. As Lisa and Ray were making up, Darnell walked back through the door. He announced to the party that he got some beer, some liquor, whatever he had. And Lisa walked up to him and said, what did you just say? You got what? He turned around, oh, hey, Aunt Lisa, what you doing here? She was like, yeah, you caught. Where's my daughters? Where's Tia and Tamera? He like, I don't know. I left them. I'm not their keeper. So once he got smart, Lisa grabbed him by his ear, twisted it, and told him, me and your mama will be handling you. Trust. Lisa and Ray eventually find Tia and Tamera hiding out in the bathroom. When Tia see her daddy, she start hugging him. She start apologizing. I'm wrong. I should have listened to you. I learned my lesson. I don't even need a punishment. This was the punishment. And Ray was just like, slow down. But he was happy that she learned her lesson. he didn't really know all of what happened, which I wish they, you know, touched on that and went a little deeper with it. But at the end of the day, Lisa and Ray got their babies out of that crazy situation thanks to Roger. The girls gave Roger his props. That was the end of the episode. I really wish they would have showed the aftermath of that situation. What happened with Darnell? What did his mom say? You know, how would they have gone about this? Would the mom have still been on Darnell's side just based off of how she was talking about Ray and saying that they're snobbish and they look down on them or whatever, and she already felt like Ray had an issue with her son? Or would Patrice take Lisa's word for it and give Darnell the proper consequences? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you.